that there was that none of these points were ever more than 2 years old that are on there now.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. We're here December 22nd at our New York State Bridge Authority monthly meeting. We have myself, Richard Gerantine, who's going to be chairing the meeting today. We have Ron Dressel, Commissioner Ron Dressel, Commissioner Van Lashua, Commissioner Roger Higgins, Deputy Director Tara Sullivan, our Counsel Carl Whitback, and our Executive Director Joe Ruggiero. Before we start the meeting, we're going to go into Finance Committee agenda meeting. Everybody has a copy. We have Rod, Chairman.
Okay, thanks, Rich. Yeah, Brian, did everybody get this in their packet? Okay. All right, well then, I will, we have to open the meeting and adopt the minutes of the September 29th meeting. Rich, I guess you and I are the committee here today.
So moved.
And so we're both, I vote yes too, of course, so all in favor, it's why the minutes are dispensed or approved. Now, essentially what we're required on it is to have, 4 meetings a year anyway, and of course this is the final, this is the end meeting, and this is a review of all the previous meetings we've had, and if you glance through here, you'll see that we have complied with all the questions of our policy and responsibilities. Other than that, Brian, do you want to add anything more to?
No, just overall, we've gone through as we had done last year, and basically the Finance Committee has complied with all the requirements set forth in its charter.
So, Rich, do you have any other questions about it? It's a very simple report in layman's terminology for me, and I do believe we're in full compliance with our requirements. So
We don't need it.
I don't think we just need
move to place it on file.
Yeah.
This just goes on file, and it's okay. And do we have any other business, Brian? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, aye?
Yep. Okay. I'll say right. Meetings from finance meetings adjourned.
How about the audit committee?
We have, I move that we open the meeting, or the audit committee meeting come to order. We have to review the annual report on the committee activities and the minutes.
Or we adopt the minutes of the November 17 meeting.
Second. And
All in favor?
All in favor. We also, during the year, we've had a number of meetings to review the work of the audit committee and the charter. And we have in front of us a document that summarizes those activities, and we would like to submit that to the executive committee or the board for approval.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Move, we adjourn.
No other business, right?
That's correct.
To adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you. The board call to order. Meeting of today. So move. Rod?
What? Open the meeting? Okay.
All right. Motion to accept the amended agenda. I'd like to make an amendment under Administration A, Easy Pass Group Operating Agreement Amendment deleted, and add on Roman numeral number 6, Old Business Amendment to TRMI Agreement for Professional Services.
I move to change the agenda.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And one other note that the Governors Committee will conduct its annual survey of commissioners and present it at the annual report at the January meeting. All right, so next meeting we'll have that. On the agenda, first, I'd like to make a motion, there's someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous
So
meeting.
moved.
So moved, second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, engineering report. Bill?
Well, I guess we just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. We wrapped up our paint contract down at Newburgh, slightly under budget. The only activities we have currently ongoing are the repairs to the walkway over the Hudson. We poured the last yards of concrete this week, stabilizing the foundations that were determined to be in need, by our engineering analysis. And weather permitting, we'll continue with the priority steel repairs that were also identified, to bring the structure into a wind stability condition for 100 miles an hour wind. And next year we'll move to permanently resolve those wind issues with a larger project that'll bring us up to the current AASHTO code wind requirements.
Good break in the weather to get this done.
Oh, this is fabulous. Pour concrete, yeah.
Would it be worth our while, and maybe we've done it and I've just missed it, but would it be worth our while if we haven't to put out some press releases to the public that the Bridge Authority has completed these tasks of the walkway? I talked to people in my circle, they don't even have a clue that we own the walkway and we're responsible for it. And I think the more people that understand that, the better positioned we are.
The paper on this side of the river, John, which paper was it that did the walkway article? There's the Times record.
Times record.
They did with photos, and the Journal hasn't covered the walkway repairs. We've put out a story on it.
Okay.
They didn't cover it.
No.
Even maybe some of the local papers, the Southern Duchess and things like that.
Yeah, the local community paper.
Yeah.
Right. The TVs have been, the news channels have been good in covering that story.
So I guess I do have a resolution with my jobs in progress.
So move.
Thanks.
Roger, second. Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Bill. Financial, Brian?
Okay, first thing up, monthly investment report. There were 5 investments made this month, the bulk of them in the debt service reserve fund. Basically, the routine monthly payment for the bonds. The maintenance reserve was a rollover of an available balance as we were able to get a positive maturity. And the last 3 were the rollover of a prior investment. I will note that basically we're not interest rates continue to remain extremely low, and we're certainly not going and able to obtain investments of equivalent returns as to what's expiring. So yes, we should expect to see lower interest income as a result. To continue on to the investment inventory, you'll notice the purchases of investments that you saw on the prior page. And also I want to note, to support the toll increase, if you look at the maintenance reserve fund balance of $5.4 million, it is $10 million lower than it was last year. Okay, and it's quickly running to zero, which only further emphasizes the need of the toll increase. Other than that, we were able to this month obtain investments, although of a very small yield, at least of a positive yield that allowed us to invest everything as opposed to leaving balances in cash. Okay, yields overall were consistent with prior months based on our interest income. That's pretty much it.
Any questions? Move it.
So moved.
Okay. Also, just to note before we jump off of that, the refinancing did go through, and effectively we saved $3.3 million as a result of that refinancing that closed on the 15th. In addition to that, I believe it's 1.09% is the number to beat now as it relates to arbiter rebate. So it was very fortunate on our part to have hit the market at such a time that we did so well.
And you predicted it in the this document, the general revenue funding bonds.
Well, that's the final document. It's all reflected. I'm sorry?
But you had predicted that before.
Well, we originally, if you remember when we first started looking at this, we were looking in the neighborhood of $700 to $1.2 million back in January, February, I believe it was, and the number steadily increased. Fortunately, things remained stable as things started to come together in early December. But yes, we did say to be about 3.3, and we hit the number dead on. So.
I think it speaks for the good management of the authority.
Thank you. Everyone put a lot of effort into this one.
Any other? Motion? Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Brian, property manager, insurance award?
Bridge property and loss of revenue. Basically, on October 13th, due to our expiring contract, we went out with an RFP. We received requests and interest from 3 brokers. Over time, as information was passed along, it resulted in 1 broker who provided a proposal. That proposal was based upon 2011 insurance values and income because when we first went out, we didn't have all the data. The returning proposal yielded approximately $150,000 savings year over year, and after making the adjustments for the increase in values of the bridges as well as the increase in revenues for 2012, we still yield approximately $100,000 in savings. So it seems like a really great deal for us. They also, unlike in some other RFP or proposals, they had offered to lock in the rates for 3 years. By going with a 3-year contract, that we were allowed to go and terminate at our discretion at the end of any of the 3 years. So my recommendation is to go and contract for the 3 years, always having the option if we choose.
Move we award risk strategies to contract as specified in the resolution.
Second.
Any discussion? None, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Brian, last one, independent Department of Civil Service?
Yes, on an annual basis, Department of Civil Service gives us a bill based on the number of head counts. The rate is $212.72 per position. Basically, the amount decreased 7% as compared to prior year. So
What's this for?
basically, it's a charge out for civil service. They're allocating their costs to everyone.
Civil services pro rata costs that are attributed to each authority.
We have been paying this every year.
Move we pay the bill as per the resolution.
We approve payment.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Brett?
Good afternoon, all. I sent out to you a contract with the workplace. This is the second year of a 5-year agreement that's before you to renew. When we reviewed the cost, it's a little less than actually 1% from last year, which was nominal. And within the confines of the contract, again, we have not to exceed $30,000. And in the first part of December, we had expensed about $27,000 to date without the remainder of this month. So $30,000 should certainly cover next year's expense again.
Force is a good policing force, doesn't it? To kind of keep
Yes.
everybody on the straight and narrow, right?
That's correct.
Keeps us all level.
Have a motion, second. Discussion, not roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Have a great holiday.
Greg?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I've got 2 items this month, the first of which is the Port Security Monthly Procurement Report. The expenses for this month were $4,751.46. And this is simply an advisement to the board, and that's good to go. The second item that I've got are jobs in progress for IT. Things are obviously winding down at the end of the year. The camera procurement, we received our replacement cameras for Newburgh Beacon Bridge, and we are waiting at this point for deployment of those cameras. We need personnel to free up some time to get out and put them in. Once they're free, we'll have the cameras replaced on Newburgh. And there is a resolution with that jobs in progress.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Wayne?
Afternoon.
How you doing?
All right, yourself? First item is our third quarter invoice from the New York State Thruway Authority for Easy Pass expenses. Mark and I have reviewed them, found no problems with the bill. As you can see by the little chart there, a little over 4.2 million transactions for the third quarter of this year. So ask your approval that we pay that.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Not roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item B?
Item B is our general electronic data processing consultant. In 2010, through an RFP, we awarded a 3-year contract to Dr. Ted Mankiewicz to assist us with our electronic data processing tasks, as outlined by Mr. Morjace on about the third page here. Last year, we assigned him a little over 600 hours worth of work, and this would be the second year of the contract, and I'm asking you to approve not to exceed 410 hours worth of work for 2012.
Move the resolution renewing the contract.
Second. Any discussion?
I was going to say, of course, this was a very important segment as we went into technology, but now we've been ratcheting him down because of in-house capabilities and so forth, right?
Yes, he's training our in-house people to perform
We're
a
also
lot of work.
ratcheting them up right now as we're doing Operation Night Watch and transforming the command center, so we're taxing his brains a little bit more than we've done lately.
Any
He
other
seems to
discussion?
like it.
Yeah.
If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item C?
Okay, number C is we pay the state police to dedicate a officer and patrol car here at the Mid-Hudson Bridge when they operate the center reversible lane during peak traffic periods. This year, I expect it to cost us approximately $80,000. They haven't had an increase since 2005, so I'm anticipating that one of these years they're going to hit us with a 10 or 12% jump. So I'm asking for a not-to-exceed amount of $95,000 to pay the state police for their services in 2012.
So moved.
Second one. Any other discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
These folks pretty much, they set here pretty much on commuter time and so forth, just being available at the busy time, right? In other words-
Yes, right. They do speed enforcement, and if there's an accident, they're right here to clear it quickly so we can get the traffic moving as fast as possible.
Thank you, Wayne. Mr. Ruggiero, any report?
Expense report this
I-
time.
I'm something I'm going to talk about DOT stuff, especially as it comes.
Anybody want to present anything to the board? Roger, you want to present something to the board?
The only thing I was thinking,
Not Agita either.
maybe we need a
Jimmy's on
Bridge
the-
Authority judge, and we can have the state police write tickets, and we can solve them right here. We can hear the cases, dispense with them, keep the fines.
And you have the traffic.
I have it.
report.
Right, yeah.
That you wanna-
All right. Any new business? If not, old business? Toll increase proposal?
So the first thing that we would do on the toll increase proposal would be to, go through the secret of Part 2. This has been distributed to each of you. I have prepared and proposed the answers to the Part 2. I think that, we like to have on the record your opportunity to review all of these issues in detail. Be sure that you've taken a hard look at all of the potential adverse environmental impacts that might result. Remember, the project is the toll increase. The project isn't any of the work projects that we do on any of our bridges or any. The project is the toll increase itself. So I'm gonna quickly read through each of these items. I've provided my suggested answer on each of those items, and when we finish with this, there is a resolution. So, one, will the proposed action result in a physical change to the project site? I've answered no.
Which page we starting on here now?
We're starting on page 11 of 21 of the environmental assessment form. It's about halfway through your packet. We're on page 11 of 21.
All right, no for the first one?
No for the first one. And number 2, will there be an effect to any unique or unusual landforms found on the site? I've answered no. Anyone has any change or comment to that? Number 3, will the proposed action affect any water body designated as protected? I've answered no. Anyone have comment or change to that? Okay. Number 4, will proposed action affect any non-protected existing or new body of water? I've answered no. Any changes to that? Number 5, will the proposed action affect surface or groundwater quality or quantity? I've answered no. Comments? Okay. Next, number 6, will proposed action alter drainage flow or patterns or surface water runoff? I've answered no. No comment to that. Number 7, will the proposed action affect air quality? I've answered no. Great.
We hope not.
Will the proposed action affect any threatened or endangered species? I've answered no. Number 9, will the proposed action substantially affect non-threatened or non-endangered species? I've answered no. Number 10, will the proposed action affect agricultural land resources? I've answered no. Number 11, will
We
the
could
proposed
just say
action...
financial there or something like that.
Will the proposed action affect aesthetic resources? I've answered no. Number 12, will the proposed action impact any site or structure of historic, prehistoric, or paleontological importance? I've answered no. Number 13, will the proposed action affect the quality or quantity of existing or future open spaces or recreational opportunities? I've answered no. Number 14, will the proposed action impact the exceptional or unique characteristics of a critical environmental area? I've answered no. Number 15, will there be an effect to existing transportation systems? I've answered no. 16, will proposed action affect the community's resources of fuel or energy supply? I've answered no. Will there be objectionable odors, noise, or vibration as a result of the proposed action? I've answered no. Will the proposed action affect public health and safety? I've answered no. Will the proposed action affect the character of the existing community? I've answered no. And lastly, is there likely to be public controversy related to potential adverse environmental impacts? And again, I've answered no. So assuming that everyone is satisfied with all of those questions and the answers that we've put out in this document, there is a resolution which is attached to the back of the
Could you just review a
toll
little bit?
modification
Why-
schedule.
Because we have no effect on it, why do we fill out a SECR or something like that?
Well, SECR requires the agency that is taking an action to examine all of the potential adverse environmental impacts that may result from that action. And we've determined, actually very cautiously as a law firm, to recommend to you that we do SECR in this particular case. The last time we did a toll increase, we did the same. Most of our projects, I can't remember a project that was not repair and maintenance, which is a type 2 under SECR and doesn't require us to go through any SECR analysis because we're maintaining and repairing our existing facilities. So that's why, unlike many agencies, we rarely are required to go through SECR. That's why you haven't really done this very often. But we only do a toll increase every 10 years, so I think the last time we did this was 10 years ago. Anybody have any questions about that?
No
So
questions?
there is a resolution attached.
I move the resolution.
Up in the net deck, right?
Yes, the negative declaration.
Second? Second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, the addendum to the TRI agreement.
No, you gotta do the adoption of the total.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Do that. We have a resolution.
You have a resolution for that as well.
Right.
Just want to comment, we had our public hearing on December 15th. We had the comment period open. We actually went up live earlier than the comment period. On December 1, we opened our website. We got emails through the website, and our comment period officially closed on the 20th of December for written comments. We had only 3 people attend and speak at the public hearing. There were actually more people in attendance. And no one actually came out and opposed the toll increase. One person expressed concerns about a particular toll structure. For the most part, everyone else was not opposed, and one person took much exception to Port Authority tolls, but but he was fine with ours. So for the most part, the public feedback has been minimal.
In the feedback that we've gotten through the internet or through the mail, was there a similar concern as far as our responsibility towards the walkway? Because that really seemed to be the focus last Thursday night.
Right. There were some comments to that effect. About tolls being diverted to non-transportation projects. John, do you want to add anything to that?
We received a total of 9 written comments, 2 by the same person. Most of there was some regarding the commuter rate. There were a couple regarding the configuration of lanes on the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. There were a couple regarding the, and those, by the way, were addressed. They were mistaken as to their interpretation of the lane configuration. And there were a couple regarding the use of toll money to support the maintenance of the walkway structure. But in total, including the public hearing and the written comment period, which was open for 20 days, there were a grand total of 12 comments from 11 people.
Danny's looking for, I think I saw a TV truck pull in, or a news truck of some sort.
Did anybody else have any questions on the public aspect there?
No?
So you have the resolution authorizing amendment of the rules to increase the tolls and the schedule is attached.
All right.
And Chris, do you want to add anything to this, or we're ready to go?
I'll just note that the rule was published in the State Register, and the notice of the rule was provided by the board staff to legislators and other parties, and copies of the rule book were provided at various libraries, and the notice was published. So we have a very good record of getting the word out there, I think. And so you have before you the resolution authorizing the toll increase. It was prepared, Joe, with a condition included. I don't know if you want to address that at this time.
Well, there's a condition in the resolution with respect to the approval by the Commissioner of Transportation. The approval of the Commissioner was included in your packet.
Right. So which we did receive yesterday.
We did receive that approval. Right.
So we can just add that to that resolution that is added.
You want to?
It's in there. It's in there.
You don't need to add it to
mentioned.
the resolution. We have the we have the condition and we have the approval, so it's met.
I think the staff has done an outstanding job on this task, and it's turned out to be a process that got far more complicated than I think any of us thought it would be, due to the new administration in Albany, and I think the staff really needs to be commended for their efforts and for getting us to this point today. I think all of us at the table understand that this has to be done. And with that said, I will move the toll increase resolution.
Second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who put this book here? Did it here at
No,
headquarters?
that's actually put together by, that's the bonding book, that's put together by the underwriters. Yeah.
And Chris actually,
Well, she wrote it.
Chris actually wrote
The
it.
actual printing, right.
Chris wrote the document for the authority. And, all of the entities involved in the refinancing have to sign off on that document. And it's it is an extensive process that we went through It's been vetted all the way through, everything in
See
there.
that, just look
It's
at
a
it.
tremendous document for you to keep for yourselves, because you want to know something about the Bridge Authority 3 years from now, it's in there. You'll find everything about the authority and how the authority works in that document.
I used it Monday night at
It's a wonderful document, so.
Many hours went into it.
I'll thank everybody, Carla, your staff, everybody else who helped. Joe, I know you had a lot of sleepless nights, but hopefully it's behind us and we'll move forward. With that, last amendment would be to TRMI agreement for professional services. Yes.
What's that? No, I guess I'm just taking another step back. So where are we and what the process now we have to go, what has to be done next?
Now we've approved it, the final rule will be published in the state register, and then we implement the toll increase on January 30th, 2012.
So we start doing the software to change all of our collection systems, and then it'll go live, at the end of the month.
It's a shoo-in.
It's done.
It's done.
Yep. The only thing we have to do is start paying. Brian, you want to do the next amendment?
No.
The trimming?
No.
Actually,
you want me
You're
to
gonna
do
do
it,
that?
John?
I'll do a trim.
Joe-
I'll do a
Joe's
trim,
gonna
I'm
do
sorry.
it, okay.
This amendment is to an existing contract that we have for Project Night Watch. It had an original deadline to be in place by December 16th, 2011. Obviously, we're coming to you amending that deadline. There is a third-party vendor that was involved that added to the delay of the project. And so both parties that came to the table, we agreed there's no additional cost to the authority to do this amendment in terms of the cost of the overall contract. And we've agreed on a new end date of March 1, 2012, and we put some other provisions and milestones in there as measure markers going forward. So basically, we've wrapped up those negotiations yesterday afternoon.
And those new markers are all advantageous to the Bridge Authority.
Well, there's significant markers that we will have comfort levels that we have hit certain key elements of the project at certain times, and there's payouts and potential penalties incurred if things are met.
And it's designed to keep them on task to get it done by March 1st.
And us too. There's a lot of work on both ends here. So.
Roger,
We'll move the resolution.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
I'm in favor.
Any attorney-client privilege?
No.
No. Want to wish everyone Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays. With that, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Holidays, everyone.